Hey guys, Vigo Edis here. Season 2022 has started, and there's been plenty of small changes about the fresh runes, etc. etc. So I'm here to teach you all about the new fresh. So a little about me. I was formerly challenger in the past seasons, and I'm currently master tier because I don't have that much time to play because I'm actually doing full-time editing for Excel Esports here in Berlin. So that's where I'm at now. So that's exciting. But what's even more exciting is that we're gonna be making the first guide of 2022 right now. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to start with is the runes. There's gonna be two different rune pages here. So in the past it would be Aftershock and Guardian, but now with the implementation of Glacial Augment, then that one has sort of like taken the space for Guardian. So let's talk more about it. So let's start with the classic Aftershock page. This page is not the most common page that you want to go for anymore. This page is actually only for situations where you feel like you can actually die in lane, sort of. Basically, if you're against a Nautilus, for example, or a Blitzcrank or something, it might be worth taking Aftershock since you're gonna get hooked, obviously, because you have to tank the hook for your ADC, so ADC stays behind you, of course, and you take the hook. Then you want some sort of tanky stats, so therefore Aftershock can be good. So Aftershock is like very, like a forgiving sort of rune, right? Because you can make mistakes and then be tanky and not die. So if you want to go this route, then you would go for Aftershock and then Font of Life. Font of Life is when you CC someone, then they get like a little mark above their head, and then when your allies auto attack, then they get some health back. And this rune is actually doing incredible amounts of healing throughout the game. You should just try it out for yourself and then look at the numbers after the game is finished, and you will see it. So therefore I recommend this one. Demolish, it's good, but you don't get to use it that much as a support. I feel like you rather push the wave in and then recall rather than stay and hit the turret, because then you end up being overextended and stuff. So I highly recommend Font of Life. Down here, you can actually choose between all three options. If you have a free lane, like a lane that is just easy, then you can go for conditioning, since this is actually the best rune to take, but since it takes like 12 minutes before you get some bonus resistances, like you get the full value of it after 12 minutes, then it's sort of like an investment. So if the game just, nothing is gonna happen the first mid levels, then you can take it, but otherwise either Second Wind or Bone Plating. Bone Plating is good if you're against, let's just say, Leona or Nautilus, because you will be engaged on and then you have like more durability. And Second Wind is good against poke, since if they have like, let's just say, Karma and Jinx, then those champions will poke you a lot throughout the laning phase, and therefore you want to try to stay healthy, and you can do that by having Second Wind, so that will help you with that. Down here you want to go for unflinching, or sometimes the other two, but not really. Unflinching is just the best one. It's a really good rune. It gives you tenacity basically, so that's always going to be useful. Like, it's super rare that there is an enemy team comp where they have like no CC whatsoever. Like, then enemy team kind of messed up the team comp, right? But then in that case you can go revitalize, like, because you won't be near like as many minion waves and jungle camps and stuff to make overgrowth worth it. I feel like it takes too much time. It's like, so you can just get some instant value with revitalize instead. So secondary, in this rune page you would like to go for inspiration. You can go like cookies and cosmic insight, or you can go like hex flash and this or this. Basically, so the reason why you want to play cosmic insight is because it reduces your cooldown on flash, which means that you will have flash up before enemy AD carry has flash up. So it gives you like a 40-second time window where you can flash on top of enemy ADC without him having any chance of escaping. So that's why you want to be running a Cosmic Insight in general, and then you can go for Hextech Flash if you feel like very comfortable in the lane and you're like the type of person who likes to make plays. Otherwise, just go Cookies. It's very good. It gives you mana, and therefore it's like always useful. And it increases your maximum amount of mana too. So basically you want to try to use the cookie when you have really low mana to get the maximum. So down here you want to go for like one ability haste, one adaptive, and then one armor. That's my preferred thing to do. The ability haste is just really nice because the early ability haste, just to say, when you have like 10, 20, 30 ability haste, it gives a lot of cooldown reduction. Like, it converts into a lot of cooldown reduction. Like, the more ability haste you have, the less percent like extra cooldown reduction do you get, sort of. So basically the first ability haste you buy is more valuable, basically. So that's why it's a pretty good little rune to take. Adaptive force is to get some more damage, so you can all in the lane, and then 1 armor to stay tanky. Sometimes I end up doing this if I'm against, let's just say, Karma and Tristana or whatever, something like this. Then you can go this way, because you need some MR for Karma, because she's gonna poke you no matter what, basically, because that's just how Karma works. And then if you're against maybe, let's just say, Pyke and Tristana, you can go double armor, 1 adaptive force. It's all up to you, and also depends on how you play. So the best rune page for Thresh right now is actually Glacial Augment, and you can never go wrong with this rune page, but it's especially good against like squishier champions where they don't have any chance of like all-inning you, so you can get away with having like no aftershock, basically. What you want to go for is the new Glacial Augment, of course, and this one basically does so when you like immobilize an enemy, basically land your hook or your flay, then 3 big rays of slowing ice or something, they just appear like spread out towards the nearest enemy champion, and they just slow by, I think it's 30% in the base, and then if you buy like, let's just say Redemption, it increases by 18%. So it's like 48% all of a sudden, and that's a really big slow, and I think it lasts like 3 seconds. I don't know about the 3 seconds, but yeah, basically. Point is, it slows AoE and it's really, really good. And you can do some tricky, like some kind of cool tricks with it, where you use your flay, that gives like a little bit of a slow, but that activates the Glacial Augment now, which means that they get even more slowed, and then you can easily land your hook afterwards. So it's like really, really good setup, and it's definitely something you should be using. And it's just really, really broken because it reduces the amount of damage that enemy does to your team as well. So it's just really, really good. Okay, so underneath I like to go for Hex Flash. This is because I like to make plays. It's just really nice to have the option to make like aggressive plays. Otherwise you can go for Stopwatch. Don't go for boots. It takes way too long nowadays for the boots to appear. So go either Hex Flash or Sonias. Sonias is if enemy team has like a, let's just say like a Cartus or a Nautilus who has like Nautilus ult and stuff. It's basically if you don't fight that much, then you have this, like that one time you fight, you have like a Sonias, and it's really, really broken sometimes. Like it's gonna win you like the 2v2 fight. But if you're like in solo queue and it's just random stuff all of the time, then it's like the Sonias comes in, like it takes like a long time before the Sonias is available, like the stopwatch, I mean, of course. Therefore, it's not really worth to have it, because by then people have already died left and right and the game is decided. So therefore, I recommend Hex Flash. I take Cookies here, it's just good, I explained it a bit before. And down here you can either take Cosmic Insight to get the flash advantage, or you go for Time Ward Tonic. And this one is basically that when you have like when you have lost some health and you suddenly want to engage, then you just press your potion, you get like a bunch of health back immediately from your potion, and then you can just run towards the enemy because you get bonus movement speed. So this is basically if you want to try to gap close the enemy, like get in range of your flay, then you can go for Time Warp. Also good against Karma, I guess, for example. I would just take Cosmic Insight though, because it's guaranteed value, and sooner or later you won't have any potions available, you know what I mean? Like in the mid game you don't have potions anyways, so therefore Time Warp loses the value, so therefore I just prefer to have Cosmic Insight. Secondary, you go for Resolve, and you can go for either one of these. So down here you want to go for Unflinching, and you can go Revitalize if enemy team has 0 CC, but it's never gonna happen. So therefore you usually want to go for like Bone Plating if you want some durability, like some tankiness, or you go Second Wind. You could also go, what I actually do sometimes is like go like this, but that's like really rare that you go like nothing in the middle. But I mean, I like this basically. If you have a lot of team members on your team like Yasuo, Aurelia, Graves, I don't know, all of these people who out attack, then you can go for this, and I think it's like better than going for Bone Plating, for example. So yeah, it's all up to you. And then the small ones, I would go like this. We talked about this in the other room page, so you can scroll back a bit if you skip to this part or whatever. But yeah, basically this is runes. I hope you're fine with it being so in depth, but yeah, hopefully it didn't take too long, but let's get right into the game. Alright, so now we're into the game, and usually I would watch the games like via point of view from like the stream or something, but this time we have the VOD, and that's a little unfortunate of course, but it's not the end of the world because you can still see my ability cooldowns down here, etc, so it's really fine. But first of all, we want to talk about the matchups, and you can see we're playing Jinx and Thresh, which is like a really famous sort of duo lane where Jinx actually is allowed to go kind of crazy, right, because she has the lantern to be pulled back to safety. And also in the laning phase you can play kinda aggressively because Jinx can push the waves really well with her AoE rocket basic attack, and also Thresh can like hook and then pull with the E into Jinx trap, so you actually have like a lot of like CC chain and damage and peel and so forth. Therefore it's a very common lane. So you can see that we're up against Jhin and Lux. This is sort of like a rather immobile bot lane, right? We just have to pay attention to Jin's fleet of footwork rune, because that one will give him movement speed, right? So he can use the movement speed to dodge hooks, so we just have to make sure to go in whenever that is on cooldown. And also we need to keep in mind that we don't want to get pushed in too much, because if we end up on the turret, then Jhin and Lux will just try like poke us down, and if Lux hits one Q, then Jhin will hit the W and Lux E, and then like we take a lot of damage and we might die. So we have to like sort of like make sure that we try to push the wave, so I need to be hitting the minions a bit to make sure that the wave is in the middle of the lane sort of. The reason why we wanted to be in the middle of the lane is because then there is like quite a bit of distance to the enemy turret, so if we start a fight, then it's not like they can run 2 steps back and they're already in the turrets, like in the safety under their own turret. So therefore we want to try to keep the wave like in front of us, but not like in our turret. So yeah, overall this is sort of like we have some sort of all-in potential and push potential. Meanwhile, enemy team has like neutralizing our push potential with Jhin Qs and stuff, and then poke and sustain, because Jhin is gonna go boost and 4 potions, and then have the Time War tonic rune, right? So he gets movement speed and stuff. So he's gonna like be really healthy. So we have to go like all in. We can't just sit around and poke and stuff with Thresh. We wanna be all inning basically. So if I land a Q, I'm gonna ignite, basically. That's the plan. Okay guys, so I've started the VOD now, and it's been a little bit of a disaster, not gonna lie. I just recorded the entire guide, and I didn't press the record button, so I'm here doing it right now. So as you can see, it's been getting a little bit dark outside, but I'm fine, it's just a little bit, yeah. So, we're heading, I'm telling my team to go into this bush level 1, okay? It's because I am thinking that Jhin and Lux is like a ranged poke lane, so therefore it's really good for them if they ward this bush level 1. Lux recalls and buys sweeper, like swaps out the trinket for the sweeper. This actually is like a small trick you can do, and I explained it in my Sona guide, for example. So basically Lux places a ward here. She goes into this bush, places a ward here, immediately recalls as she's placing the ward, and then she goes to base, buys sweeper, and then for some reason the sweeper is ready to use like as you arrive in lane again. I don't know why Riot made it like that, but that's how it works. So basically you get like 2 trinkets level 1 for no reason, which is really powerful for them. If she can control the bush, she can sit in there, poke, and I can't really do much, and we lose life, and they have like sustain advantage, blah blah, all the stuff we talked about in the matchups part. So yeah, basically that's why I'm calling my team here, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna do it, because every high elo person does this. So I'm here and I wanna go for a hook, but unfortunately she is not AFK the first seconds of the game. She sees like they are on time basically, and she uses a E and gets some gold on the spell thieves and a mana flow as well, which is not the best, but it's really fine. So now our goal is just to sort of try to cancel her recall. We get some nice gold from Nidalee's first strike. So 100% she's gonna be recalling again, right? So we have to find her. Okay, Nidalee is smurfing. I mean, I already knew that, right? Because I just made the entire guide. But yeah, you guys didn't know that. But yeah, basically she hits a really good spear. I'm pretending here like I'm gonna cancel, because maybe they stop their bases for no reason. You never know, right? People are, oh no, Thresh might hook me, and they stop the bases or something. I don't know. So that's why I went there. Basically, we're gonna pull here. Nidalee is starting bot side. I guess top lane is very explosive, but yeah, usually as a bot laner I like to have my jungler start top side and then path to me. but yes, yeah. But basically, she's gonna start bot side. This means that she's gonna path to top lane, obviously, and that means that we can't push too far bot lane, because if Lee Sin starts top side and paths to bot, then we are screwed. And like if we're pushing, because then he would just go behind us and gank us and we die. So therefore, jank us, gank us. Maybe that's where his name is from. Okay, this is looking like a hook, honestly. You see the way she wants to control the bush, okay? That's her goal, right? She has sweeper and everything. Her goal is to control the bush and poke from there. But I feel like the minions are here and Jin is like behind. If Jin was maybe here, I don't know. Like if they were hitting Jinx together or something. Like they have potions. He has 4 potions on Jin, I think. Like, you know, the boots. Boots start with 4 potions and then he has time warp tonic. So he's like really healthy and fast. Yeah, it's a hook angle. Let's see, I can ignite this just to force the flash. Yeah, so she flashes and this is huge. So as you can see, she flashed at minute 2, so I have to write in chat 7 Lux flash, because it's always 5 minutes. What is Jin doing? It's always 5 minutes cooldown on flash, right? Unless they have the cosmic insight. Then it's 5 minutes minus 40 seconds. And if they have lucidity boots, I'm losing my now because it's been a while. But then it's like another 30 seconds, you know, the cooldown boots. So if they're cooldown boots and cosmic insights, then it's 70 seconds. Otherwise, it's 40 seconds or just 5 minutes. Obviously, when I say 40 seconds, then it's like 5 minutes minus 40. Yeah. Anyways, you get it. This is a free hook. This is a pull. Like obviously we're all inning, so therefore I press Q again. Let's see. Nice flash by Jinx. She flashed away from the Lux Q, or Lux E meaning. I don't know why this is actually a close fight. I guess she's walking a little too close. If she walked, instead of like walking this way, like the Jinx, then she could walk this way sort of. Then she avoids being ignited so quickly from Lux, and then she heals late actually. You know, Lux got a good ignite off basically. She puts heal a bit too late, so it gets halved basically. Okay, but really good, really good flash by Jinx. Really well played to her. We get the first blood. I get the first blood actually. Kills on Thresh are generally very useless. This is actually a kill. You see here I have Q and E up, so and I have Glacial. So this is what we talked about. You flash E. This is guaranteed hooks. Okay. This is why Glacial is so good, for example, because when you use your E, there is no escaping anymore. It used to be, like, you know, they designed the Thresh slow so that you have a chance to dodge the hook. But now with Glacial Augment, there is no chance to dodge the hook. Like, he's just caught and dead for sure. See? There's no chance. You basically, you flash E or your E or whatever, and then you just aim your Q where they got flayed, and it's gonna hit. Very few instances where it doesn't, but that's just a problem with the angle, sort of, or anything. Well, we'll talk more about, see that in action, I guess, later. So basically, after killing bot lane, you want to crash the wave always, and you want to try to make sure that they don't freeze. But Jin is not freezing at the moment, so usually you want to like walk with the wave and make sure it goes all the way into turret, and then walk away and recall. So enemy top lane got a kill there. Maybe he can snowball. So when you're in base, you always want to walk here while you shop items and you want to regen, because then boom, out of base. Like if I was in the middle of the fountain, it would be much slower. So we get out of base. So basically when you are walking back to lane, you always want to take like the sort of jungle route or river route, just to get some vision down or check if any plays are going on. So basically my mid laner is dead, right? So it doesn't make sense to go mid right now, but since 2 people are showing in mid lane right now, I can go river at least. And I can actually get a little ward here, maybe, yeah. This is really good ward, because it's gonna spot if Lee Sin goes for the scuttle or not, right? Lee Sin was around mid, but it doesn't seem like he's going scuttle. This pink ward I placed is really useless actually. This doesn't give any sort of vision actually, because imagine we're pushing. If we're pushing, the enemy bot lane is never gonna ward here. It's not gonna deny any wards, and it's basically just a regular ward. And then you might as well have placed the pink ward in here. I should have placed my pink ward here in pixel, This is called Pixie Bush. Or I should have, and then place my normal ward here. That would have been more useful. Basically, the vision this one gives, it doesn't give much. Like the enemy jungler can just go around here and just go in. You know what I mean? Like if you want to ward in the river, you should ward here, and it should be a regular ward, right? Because then you can see in time that the enemy jungler is coming. Because if you ward here, you only see this-ish, and then it's too late already. So this ward is just really useless, so don't do that in your own games. We still have no flashes on enemy team, like on enemy bot lane, so one hook is one kill, I assume, because Jinx has like she has some gold, spent some gold. So the wave is kind of big right now, but we have Nidalee on our side of the map, so we can go for plays. By the way, one trick against Lux is always that she's obviously gonna use her E. So the way you should do is you should always start walking forward, because they always, it's like Cillian and Lux and so forth, they always throw their spells as if you're gonna try to run away from it. But if you just start running forward, then 9 out of 10 times, then you don't get hit. So that's what I tried to do there. So now I know Nidalee is on our side of the map, so I feel very comfortable going in. That's a good thing with Thresh. If you want to force, you can literally just start walking up their face. Because if they start hitting you back, they will sort of like CC themselves. You know, let's just say that Lux or Jhin started like out-attacking me. Then they spent time out-attacking instead of spending time walking away. So this, you have like sort of lots of power as a Thresh, because your flay is instant, right? It's like instant, so they can't like, this guy stops for an auto, this is illegal, right? Like look, now he has to dodge back because he should have been over here maybe, but now he's here and now he's just dead. It's like legit, the amount of pressure you have as a Thresh is crazy. So you get the flay, make sure that she can't move, but now we're focusing the ADC, so it's really really good. So the flay was kind of bad in a way because I put Glacian on Lux, but this hook here is really good into the Jinx trap to make sure that connects. Flay was not the end of the world, but okay, that's a flash from Jhin, so that's 920, because Jhin doesn't run Cosmic Insights, they always run for Time Warp Tonic, right? So that's 920 Jhin flash. Then time it in the chat, and then you mark it and copy it, and then you can just paste it as you want. So this is like me healers hanging it, I guess. So basically, imagine you're Jhin here, after what happens here. You know, this play and stuff. He's like running away, right? You can say. So obviously he's like, I need to recall, but I don't want to do it in the vision here. So obviously he's gonna be here or here, and that's just how it is, right? So therefore I go there, because 99% of all players will do this, and I get a base cancel. So he loses the wave that is about to get pushed in on the turret. And oh, his support actually shows up, so now he's able to path through. Okay. Interesting. And I have hook in 3, but we need to recall. I mean, technically you could say that I saved him the wave. But in normal cases, this is obviously good to cancel, because you should be able to zone him off, but we weren't able to this time. Because Nidalee doesn't have any like CC spell. Like if I had Elise or something maybe, then they can't. Okay. He sees it coming. Basically, I had like a timer where I could go for a gank mid there, because my ADC recalled. I didn't need a recall. I had nothing to buy in base, and I had full mana, full health. So there was like a little roam timer there that was really good, because now I'm back on time for Jinx. So it was all good that I roamed basically. And enemy mid laner has no flash, but I don't know if I knew that. Probably I knew. So this wave is pushing into us. It's really bad that we're pushing it. We should be trying to freeze this one, because the further enemy bot lane walks up the lane, the more they're likely to die basically, because they're so far like long distance until their turret. So it was not so good that we pushed that wave. I tried to use my relic when the minions were low, but it sort of like gave a misinterpretation to Jinx, I think, or maybe I also pushed. I don't remember fully, but yeah. We don't want to push too much, because if we sit on the turret and try to auto-attack the turret, if we get hit by one binding and then one Jhin W, we'll be stuck on the turret and we can't hit back, right? Because if we hit back, sorry, I'll talk about this in a second. If we hit back, then turret will aggro us. I just yoinked the kill. basically, we are in here. I don't want to go for any place. That's why I'm like standing this bush. I don't want to go for place before I know where enemy jungler is, because it's so easy to get a lead. Like, oh, we fucking first blood them. Easy game, and then you start feeling strong, and we're so strong. 2v2, we're so strong. And then you take one fight that's bad because enemy jungler just comes out of nowhere or some shit like that, and then you just throw away the entire lead, and then the game is even, but you still feel like you're a bit strong, and then you lose even more, right? So I didn't want to like throw the game by taking too many fights that are unnecessary or not guaranteed to be successful. So basically, right now, I saw Lee Sin in mid lane. Basically, Lee Sin ends up showing in mid lane, which indicates, oh, Lee Sin won't be here. I can actually start playing aggressive right now. I'm trying to stay healthy, that's why I'm staying like kind of far back. I just should stay in here though, in reality, but I'm trying to not lose like health. So right now, Lee Sin shows in mid lane, and immediately I just start storming forward. They should know this, but they don't pay attention. I have Hex Flash. I know Lux is in there, so it's easy. So this looks like a turbo miss of a hook, but it's sort of like a zoning skill shot, you can call it. Because, I mean, it should be like this way, but still. Basically, if she tries to walk to a turret, she gets hit by a hook. But if she starts dodging backwards, like she did, she starts walking towards our turret, and she's gonna die anyways, right? So it's like a lose-lose situation for her. But imagine if I threw hook down here, and she just kept walking the normal way, then she would have escaped, right? Maybe. But so that's why you want to, in this situation, you want to go for like a hook that is like towards the place where she wants to go, so she has to go backwards. Like either she gets hit by hook or she walks in the wrong direction. So yeah, we get her on the traps, and that's a kill. And I yoink the kill because I know how useless kills are on Thresh. So I just take it for no reason. Like, I wish kills were more useful on Thresh, because this actually happens a lot, that you get kills on Thresh. Ooh, there's a clutch one. He stayed in range of the Jinx W. I flash out to not die. I could potentially have tanked one more if I get the heal from Jinx, so I know I'm safe. But she healed like afterwards, so I didn't feel like, you know, you shouldn't trust your teammates to that certain level, you know what I mean? That's like too trust. So I just had to flash out. But that was good kill, he loses the wave again. Jinx ult is going towards some sort of jungle camp. Oh! What? He actually hit it on the turret in mid lane. I miss my flavor, it doesn't matter, because he is just running straight into us to start out. He tried to like copy me cancelling bases or something, I'm not sure. It's an easy hook, lantern. She flashes as well. That's a 12-25 then. 12-25 Lux flash. Once you learn how to like say +5 or +4 minutes 20 seconds, like you get really quick at it. Like once you do it every game, then it's like a habit. Like even in ARAM, I can't like stop myself. I mean, I don't time it in the chat because it's cringe, but like whenever I see it, I like my brain goes, oh, that's 12 then. But I don't use it because usually I write it down, of course, in game, copy it and paste it and paste it and paste it, like Doonby or what. So I don't have to remember it, right? I can just look at it fast whenever I need it. So now, always, yeah, like I said, run through mid lane, run through jungle. This is sort of looking like a push mid lane, push bot lane, take dragon angle. Because if they step up, we have some good tools to sort of CC them down or poke them down, I guess. I mean, not really. They also have good tools. So maybe that's like an option for them to like come back to the game. But if we push the waves first, it should be fine. But I don't think we can get prior on mid lane though, because of Vex against Aatrox. So as you can see, I'm walking in very carefully because Nidalee is not with me. He's pathing to top to take the camps. Nice that Jax is ahead. Bot lane and listen, 4 people top. It would have been nice if we were taking dragon right now, like we were talking about, and doing bot lane plates. But yeah, maybe Nidalee can help top. Okay, this guy's actually faker. There's 2 kills now, and there's 2 people left. I think maybe Lux was like running it low-key, no? Okay, this is an example of why Hex Flash is so nice to have, because it just gives you the option to go for this sort of place. I tried to do the Sony skill shot again. I mean, you could argue it actually worked, because you see, I do for the Flay to get the Glacial, right? Glacial is just broken, so I like the slow. So I start aiming hook here, to where he's gonna walk, right? Yeah, like here, even a little bit up, because I have a feeling he's gonna touch, but which means that he should have been here right now. And if he was here, this W from Ajax wouldn't have connected, I guess. So it was like sort of zoning skill shot again or whatever. It feels bad to miss the hook, but it's like by far the best thing to do, right? Because if I hooked where he actually ended up walking this time, then like if he just kept walking straight forward, he would just have escaped 100%. At least this way, there's like a chance of Aatrox hitting his stuff afterwards. So yeah. So it seems like they don't have control of this area still, right? So I'm just in here waiting for Lux to walk towards bot lane, but she's staying mid lane and taking wave. Could be some sort of... I'm hearing Lee Sin sounds. I don't know if I'm supposed to hear those, but... So he's taking red, I assume. Nice, nice. Good Aatrox W again. And just easy hook. It's just fucking Raptor Camp gaming at the moment. Let me just check. So my recording... good. I'm recording, thank God. I'm not doing this the third time. Okay, this is a little greedy maybe? Does she have damage? I know how this ends right now, I remember. Basically... let's see, yeah, we're all dead. We got 1 kill on K, but she flashes in, right? You know what I mean? It's not worth... Obviously it's worth if she could kill all, but she couldn't kill all and she used flash and lost the shutdown. This is what I mean, you should try to like make plays that are less risky than this basically. You don't want to take risks as high as this, because shutdowns are so big, right? Like in the meta or the game even, like basically. So you don't want to give those shutdowns over, so it's better to make the plays like pay attention to where all the enemies are, where your teammates are, and then try to make a good play that is actually calculated and smart, rather than I mean, you can make chaotic plays, but you just have to look up. You know, it's just like in football. Imagine you have the ball and you have to pass it to someone. You need to look up and see who you can pass it to, right? Like if there is anyone, like some teammates that are ready to be played around, or you know, where the opponents are, so forth. So yeah, just remember to look up before you make a play, right? Otherwise you're gonna end up inting, and then maybe your teammates would follow your int engage and then lose the shutdown. So it's important to keep track of what's going on around you. So right now I'm like looking for Lee Sins or something, someone who can try to steal, trying to get some ward to really like make sure that there's no possibility. Popping sweeper here. You don't want to be on ward, obviously, so it's important to always sweep around and like could be a little Raptor gaming hook again maybe. But see, this is usually what people do. They path via this bush to arrive at bot lane because they feel like this is not safe, but then they walk here instead. So I actually it's so often that I sit in this bush in general. Okay, Aatrox going in. Let's see if there's any opponent. I can't see because it's the VOD. He missed a Q, but maybe flash predict? No, or Lux predict. Guess you could call it too. It's either Lux or Jin flash or something. I don't know. I'm not fully sure. Anyways, we are in a good spot in the game. We have a huge lead, right? We've been killing so much. Okay, I can't get in play range because of Lux Q. Lux dies before ult goes off. Lee Sin appears out of nowhere. Okay. Did I have hook in this fight? I think Lee Sin dies this Jinx ult, right? Yeah. So overall, pretty good. But it's 2 for 1 and we shouldn't be dying right when we're so ahead. I want to see if I had hook. Like, where did my hook go? I think I aimed it for Jin maybe. Because she looks so dead, yeah, so I aim it for Jin. It's like a classic where you basically look at one opponent, you like walk here, look at this way only, and then you just press Q on the other side, and Thresh actually does this where he like keeps looking while he's winding up the hook, and then suddenly like throws it the other direction. It's like a little small trick basically you can do on Thresh. You just pretend like you're interested in attacking one person and then hook the other way completely. And it is like a huge surprise for the enemy. But really nice by my team that they can clean it up afterwards anyways, so that's good. Could get some nice platings here. If that Lily Spear hits, then I think they just have to give the entire turret. Jax is flashing in, yeah, he's completely going ham sandwich. He might end up dying. This is what I mean, like that's like a super unnecessary play, right? Because you get 1 kill and they kill you. 1 for 1. but you have like a shutdown, so it's not worth it, you know what I mean? And you even flash. This is like the sort of greedy place that ends up appearing always, and it's what you, who is watching, need to try to restrain yourself from, you know? You need to stop doing this basically, because for example, I know this play, oh, we can kill him, we're 2 people, 2 against 1. But in reality, this guy is super tanky, and he's not that far behind or whatever. And we have a Nidalee. Let's just say Nidalee misses her spear, or she hits a close range spear. She's not gonna deal any like enough damage, you know what I mean? And we might just end up risking Nidalee shutdown being lost, and enemy team will have lots of time to come. Okay, hook, hook, hook. Play. Okay, nice. This is really nice. So I hex flash over, and I flay, and then I keep calm, you know what I mean? I don't throw my hook immediately. I like keep calm, and then wait for him to be in a position where he can't dodge. You know, I walk so he is fucked. Now what is he gonna do? Is he gonna run here to the left? He won't have time. Is he gonna run to the right? He won't have time. There's no way he can dodge it now. Meanwhile, like right as I spawn or like I land here, like now there's plenty. If I hook here, he can run down and it's gonna miss. If I hook here, he could run there and it's gonna miss. So I just walk to make fully sure, like throw hook, and then there's no chance for him to dodge it. Yeah, you should always try to keep calm. Like don't stress when you play League. Keep calm, okay? If you start stressing when you play, you're just gonna miss everything and you won't take good decisions. So you need to chill. Like even here, I'm on the turret. It's chill. It's chill. I'm not gonna die to the turret, like, you know what I mean? You just need to chill out, basically. Never spam your keys, like, if you start spamming, your mind is like thinking about clicking fast instead of like keeping track of all the other things that's going on, you know what I mean? Sure, you can spam if you're like half a second away from being out of the CC or something, but in general, you want to try to like relax when you play, yeah? And keep your breathing normal, I guess. Your breath. I mean, not that I'm sitting thinking about how I'm fucking breathing when I'm playing, but like automatically I'm like very like not stressed when I'm in this sort of situation. But it's different when you play like a competitive game, for example, like when you play team game or something, in a league or something. Then it's different because you start feeling like pressure or stress or whatever. So every situation, I feel like when you're in a team fight, in solo queue or something, you can like, I see everything, I understand everything, but when you're like in a tense situation, you only see half of it because you're like, so like the fucking weekend running around, you know, the Super Bowl thing or whatever it was. What has happened and what is happening? Darius is dying. I'm in here. I know they don't have vision, obviously, because who the fuck wards here when you're behind like this? So I'm looking for someone to step up for the wave and then look for Q. To punish this person, because enemy team is showing many people top lane, so Lux is walking up. Let's see. Nice. Works just as planned, actually. Nice, nice, nice. We have vision of the Jhin. How come we have vision of the Jhin? Is it my ward or something? Why the fuck are we seeing him? Ah, nice, it was my ward. So funny, he's sitting AFK and flaming and then he's getting hooked. He's like, what the fuck? Like, he must be so surprised, like, why the fuck is their base warded? Like, they're so far behind that their base is warded at fucking minute 16. Like, I think it's a go next angle for them. But yeah, it looks is sitting at 110 right now. Yeah, it's a good game, good early here. We're snowballing greatly. We are doing very specific tricks, sort of to keep the snowball rolling, if you know what I mean, like playing around vision, playing around where enemy players are, where teammates are, making sure to go. Basically, in this game, I'm like trying to think, if I was the enemy and I'm a bit stressed about how bad the game is going, what would I do? Or like, what would I accidentally end up doing, if you know what I mean, like which mistakes. So for example, the Lux walking up to the minion wave in mid lane because she should be safe, she's in between 2 turrets, right? But in reality, she's just not safe if I sneak around with the sweeper around the thing and just wait for her to do it. So it's like, if you're really ahead, you can really start like expecting what the enemy is gonna do, and you can go for it and you will win every fight, right? Because you're ahead. If we were behind, maybe that's not possible. Maybe she would have Sonya's already then or some shit like that. Yeah, we should talk about build, by the way. So on Thresh, I'll just pause actually, if you don't mind. On Thresh, you can build 2 different mythic items, okay? You can build either Shurelias or you can build Locket, okay? There is the one that, I don't remember the name right now, but it's the one where you, if you CC someone, you deal more damage. I don't recommend going that one. Locket is better than, I feel like, because it's like doing the same, like there's a defense version and the offense version, and it's like, doesn't matter which one you choose, but the fact is that the Locket one also gives nearby allies more armor and magic resist, so it's like a bonus thing that the other one doesn't have. In a way, I mean, yeah, it's how you look at it. Well, I guess the other one has the damage, I don't know. But basically, Locket is by far the most popular because the one that increases your damage has been nerfed, so therefore people are not building anymore. Maybe it's still strong, and people just don't like it because it got nerfed. I don't know. Basically, I don't think I like it that much. Especially when you don't have like an AoE ult. Like let's say I was a Mumu, maybe the other one is better, because a Mumu ult is gonna hit everyone. Like here you have one fresh Q, and that's it basically. And maybe an AoE flay or whatever, but that's it. So I feel like Locket is better because you get the AoE effect without having to do much. You know, you can just press the Locket up and everyone around you will get the shield. So basically you want to go Locket if enemy team has, especially if they have like Orianna or something, because you can Locket the whole shield. Vex ult, for example, blah blah blah. But Locket, you can never go wrong with it, I guess. The reason why is because Shurelias is good, but it has like random stats, like you get AP and mana regen. It's like those things you don't need that on Thresh. So that's why I'm not like the biggest fan of Shurelias on Thresh. It's really good to go Shurelias though if you're against like let's just say Karma, or if you're against like let's say Janna maybe, who is like people who build Shurelias, like enemies who build Shurelias, and then you can build Shurelias too to sort of like match it. So if they pop Shurelias in a team fight, then you pop Shurelias in a team fight, and then it like neutralizes it. Or if enemy team has Karma, of course, because they have the Mantra shield and they're really fast, then you can sort of like match their quickness by having Shurelia. So you should also think about your teammates, like if you have a team fight composition where you want to go in, let's just say you have Kennen, then Shurelias is a great choice, because you can help him reach the enemy team and reach enemy backline, and you can win the fight from that. Meanwhile, if you had Locket, when you have Kennen, if you press the shield, he's just gonna get a shield. But he's gonna be in backline anyway, so you can't like help him. So it's better to just have Shurelias then, I feel like. So yeah, that's when you want to build Shurelias. When you're against Shurelias, or if you have a team that wants to use Shurelias. So otherwise, just go for Locket. And then second item, you can choose between 3 items, I feel like. The first one is Knight's Vow. It's been buffed recently. So basically you redirect some of the damage that your ally is taking onto you. And then you also heal for a percentage of all the damage your ally deals. So it just makes you tankier and makes your teammate tankier too, sort of. It's pretty good. And then there is the Seeks, which is sort of when you like do something to the enemy, then they get like marked or whatever, and then your teammate, every time he auto attacks, you deal some bonus damage. The bonus damage is not that much, but if you have like Jinx with lethal tempo and stuff, it can add up quite quickly against a tank, for example. So it's quite good then. Also, it's good if you have a teammate who builds Rune as Hurricane, because you know it's the thing that makes you shoot 3 times. Because then on all 3 of them, it will proc this item. So that's also why it's good in that situation. And then the third item could be Redemption. And Redemption is good because it gives you the heal and shield power, which is Forbidden Idol. You would usually think, why would you need heal and shield power on Thresh? But it's because of the Glacial Augment. So I was actually checking in Practice Room before recording this exactly how much you benefit from building Redemption on Thresh in terms of the Glacial Augment. Because if you didn't know, the more heal and shield power you have, the more slow, the higher slow percentage your Glacial does. So usually the Glacial slows for 30%, but with the Forbidden Idol / Redemption, then you slow for 48%. So you increase it by 18% slow. So it's actually quite big. It's quite nice. And Redemption is not a bad item at all. Problem is that you're sitting and buying mana regen on Thresh, and I was like, I would rather have the tanky stats from Knight's Vow then. But it's like a choice, right? And also sometimes Redemption can be a bit useless, like the active, in terms of your teammates being scared of it for some reason. Like imagine you pop Redemption and people are like, oh no, something is coming, and they run away from it. I don't know. This happens really often actually, because they are like so busy in the team fight, so they just want to dodge everything, and they end up running out of your Redemption. But then at least it deals damage to the enemies. Like the damage Redemption deals is actually kind of high sometimes. Not gonna lie, it's like true damage, so it's gonna like hit no matter what basically. But yeah, so I recommend Knight's Vow if you don't know what to do, Redemption if you don't know what to do, and then also, for example, Knight's Vow against Assassins is good because you help your ADC stay alive. Or Seeks is only if you have a lethal tempo type of champion like Jinx. Okay, so those are the items. So then let's just say you go Locket, Knight's Vow, and then you just go Redemption after that. Usually you don't get to more items than that as a support. After that you can go for a Ward Stone or something. Like that, basically. You never go full build anyways, so. But otherwise, if you go full build, you just build the next item. So here, I'm on a big flank on Thresh. Jhin is ulting and I'm gonna hook him, immediately stopping his ult. Kinda sad for him. So you saw that I throw the lantern as I'm like flying in, so Lily can come. There was a random dive up there, I'm not sure. Okay, Jhin is disrespecting a bit. I have a ward, so but he doesn't realize. I think he's just a bit tilted at the moment. It's fair enough, he's died a lot and his support is 11 deaths too. So not the funniest game for him. We're gonna see if we can get some Nexus turret, it looks like. We're 3 against 2, but enemy team is spawning slowly. We had Herald, so it makes sense that we got some turrets here. Okay, good, a good hook. Gonna push him into the ult, right? I get Q. So basically this is how you want to use your combo to make sure that your ult hits, right? You pull, you hit hook, you let it pull twice for the CC duration, then you press Q again, and you press R, and then you want to flay them into your ult, because your ult deals quite a bit of damage and slows by 99% I think, so that's why you want to do that. Okay, you saw it again. I did the thing where I pretend to be interested in Lux here. You see, it's only the last frame, or like the last part of the thing, where it shows where the Q is truly going. I have Mercs, so I'm able to escape Lux Q. And yeah, let's see here. As you can see, this game I'm building towards Seeks because of Jinx. So we're just gonna try to escape here, I think. Oh! Play as too early. But it was worth a try. He's so close, right? The Lee Sin is so close, we just have to sort of try to predict when Lee Sin presses Q again. Okay. Oh! Do you see? Do you see the Jinx dodge on the Q there from Lux? Whoosh, little... Really clean. So we're gonna see if we can end here actually. I think we definitely can. Oh, so much attack speed, like Jesus Christ. Yeah. So on Thresh you also want to max Q and then W, by the way. I mean, I feel like these things are obvious, but yeah. Yeah, overall really great game. We managed to snowball a lot. Enemy bot lane did not have a good one. Yeah, let's talk more about it. Alright, so that was the Thresh guide. I know it was like sort of like an easy win or whatever, but the point of the video is to show that you can get a lead, but it's important that you play smart afterwards, because you're gonna end up throwing and lose your shutdowns. So you need to pay attention to where enemy jungle is constantly and try to play around your own jungle as well. You don't want to make plays when your jungler is top side of the map and enemy jungler could potentially be bot lane. This is exactly how you end up losing games that you should be winning. Like, it doesn't matter if you're winning 2v2 if you end up throwing when your jungler is top side, sort of. You want to be playing around the jungler because he's the one who decides where you sort of have like potential to win fights. So you should definitely pay attention to your jungler. It doesn't matter if he's ganking, it's more like the threat of him potentially ganking. The enemy team has to respect it, otherwise they get like they die. And if, let's say, you force a fight 2v2 and then the fight lasts a bit, then your jungler is gonna come, you know what I mean? Like, eventually he is gonna come, even though he's not walking bot to gank or whatever, but if he sees stuff is going on he's gonna come, right? Because like he wants to kills too. So yeah, it's like play around your own vision, play around your teammates and enemies, and focus on win. And if you enjoyed the guide, then thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the other guides. And yeah, be nice to your teammates, and good luck on the rift.